Regis Prograis is in a position to accept challenges now that he has become champion again at junior welterweight. He's looking at the list of challengers, and one particular fighter has his attention, but not why you think. Let's talk about it. WBC junior welterweight champion Regis Prograis is enjoying the view from the top. After becoming a two-time world champion with his recent victory over Zepeda, Prograis is now surveying the landscape to see who he may accept as a challenge going forward to defend his title. Recently, he was asked about particular matches and also entertained the thought process of one day facing Josh Taylor, whom his one defeat is against, for a second time. But as the conversation shifted toward other names in the sport, he had an interesting take on Teofimo Lopez, as he mentioned that he feels that Teofimo Lopez is mentally crumbling at this stage of his career. With that in consideration, you have to look back. Teofimo's recent performance against Sandor Martin on December 10th was every bit as bad as his dismal efforts in his loss to George Kambosos Jr. in 2021. That comes courtesy Boxing News 24. The thing about Lopez is that he appears to be another one of these new generation fighters who really do not have the resolve that comes with being a top-notch fighter in the sport of boxing. You can't fake it until you make it in boxing. And the man who uses the moniker The Takeover has been far away from living up to that name. Prograis, who has worked his way back and finally become champion again, is now looking at boxing a lot different. He has modified some of his thoughts and tempered his actions. His record now stands at 28-1 with 24 KOs, and his victory over Zepeda was the type of victory that you have to look at what he was able to do. His fight, he exercised all types of disciplines, moving his head, moving his feet, moving around, working behind the jab, not looking to rush in, not looking to go out there and just win with power, but win with boxing, ring IQ, and smarts. something that Teofimo Lopez was not able to show against Sandor Martin. He appeared to be looking elsewhere in their match. Maybe he thought that Martin would just succumb to him because his name is thrown around in the sport. But anyone who has watched Sandor Martin recently, they could say that Teofimo's record of 18-1 with 13 KOs was definitely in jeopardy because Martin recently upset Mikey Garcia, whom, technically speaking, is a far more experienced and better fighter than Teofimo Lopez, even at this later stage of Mikey's career. I like the fact that Regis Prograis took on his opponent and won behind discipline. That's very hard to do as a young fighter, because when you have to display discipline, that means that the things that normally move you emotionally, sometimes things can present themselves where you want to react right away. But he was very patient in this fight, to the point that he broke his man down. And that is what showed a new wrinkle in his career. You can win with your head, and you don't always have to lead with your heart. The fact that you're in there competing at all puts your heart on display. And when we talk about heart, the Lopez family are missing something when it comes to the sport of boxing and how it's presented to the masses. They believe it's a different type of a spectacle, but Teofimo Sr., who had hoop dreams of his own earlier in life that he didn't live up to, is trying to now live that vicariously through his son. But he hasn't passed on the most significant of lessons to his son. Mental strength is very important, and you can't fake the fact that you don't have it all together. When Regis spoke about the possibility of Teofimo having mental, psychological issues, I don't take it as a jab. I take it as a most keen of observations, because you have to understand, Regis has gone through a lot in his personal life. From New Orleans and everything that he had to contend with in the early 2000s, even now in his boxing career, having to come back from the loss to Josh Taylor. He has been put on notice to take a closer observation of life, and has done exactly that. Regis feels that the Lopezes are clout chasing, and he has admitted he likes Teofimo, but if he gets in the ring with him, he will hurt him, because he's in the hurt business, not in the business for the sake of being a businessman, but he understands how to manage business, and the first order is to take care of the opponent by getting him up out of there. That's his focus, that's his purpose, and I can totally respect that. The Lopezes may be trying to angle themselves for a good payday, but they have to understand that it might be doomsday if they get in there with Regis. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are, And if this fight were to take place, what do you think Teofimo's chances are against Regis Prograis? This is all I have for you at this time. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.